Let's see. Are we working? Okay, not seeing any red, angry, blinky things, so I think we're probably working. So what do we got today? Oh, well, I'm gonna play a game tomorrow, but I wanted to crack these open because they look like a lot of fun. So I had a really shitty week at work a week or so ago, so I did something you shouldn't ever really do and did some retail therapy. So I got myself this uh, Spider Mommy, and I got myself the new. I guess it's not really new, I guess, but I guess it's the current War Machine Frozen and Forgotten box. So, um, for folks that don't know, War Machine does these like two-player starter boxes. Or two-player like faction battle boxes, I guess they're called. There's not really a starter box, you don't get dice and stuff, but they're like battle boxes. And you get some models for kind of like two different factions. And the really awesome thing is uh, they are all in plastic. So every time they do one of these, I try to pick it up because I love the designs of War Machine. Um, like straight up, I think they're just absolutely beautiful. Very reminiscent of like the early 2000s. Feels very like World of Warcraft kind of coded. I just absolutely love the War Machine designs. So because of that, I always try to pick each one of these up. They do eventually split them into two different boxes, but it's much cheaper if you just buy the double box while it's out. Eventually, they do retire the double box though, so that's why I was like, you know what, I don't want to miss out on this one. I missed out on the first one, but I got the second one with the like the sea guys and stuff, and those ones were really cool. Um, so yeah, but we're gonna do Dragon Mommy for or not Dragon Mommy, Spider Mommy first, and then we'll get to this box, and I'll show off some of the other War Machine guys that I painted, um, too. So I need a knife. What I really need is a new handle for my razor blade. That's what I really need. All right. So what is this? This is one of the standalone like monster models from Dungeons and Lasers. Dungeons and Lasers is made by Archon, and they do a whole bunch of these kind of like standalone one-off models. They're primarily for D&D, but man, they're really freaking cool. So I just finished this guy the other day. Yeah, they're really freaking cool. This guy was just a pack-in one of the Kickstarters from them that I backed, right? So he was just a free model I got from the Kickstarter, and holy shit, is he cool. Um, I started painting this guy in honor of beating the last Diablo like season and expansion. So I worked on him for that to go with the rest of my like Diablo coded demons. So he'll just hang out in the back there. But yeah, really cool. So you always get like a themed base, and then you get um, kind of the mini. Usually these don't have a lot of options because usually they're kind of like one build. But to be totally honest, they're usually pretty cheap. Um, I think she was like $19 or something, and she's going to be a fairly large model. Um, so yeah, that's kind of cool. You can see how she's kind of broken up in kind of logical ways. I like that her titties are a different piece. Um, yeah, so we're not even going to need instructions to build her, to be totally honest. Because you see the base, and then the base, and then here's part of the body. There's her weird spider butthole. And then you got some shell, more shell, legs. Like, this is the body, there's her boobs, there's her face, there's the back of her hair, there's her one arm, there's her other arm. I mean, you can see that while it's a cut out plastic model, it's not like GW where you need a fucking PhD to figure out how the model goes together, you know? So yeah, so she's gonna be really, really cool. But I just wanted to show her off. I'm not gonna build her right now. I'll probably build her later. I want to build some of the War Machine stuff instead. Because the War Machine minis are really, really fun. So this is their like trolls uh range faction, something like that. Yeah, and they're like pirate kind of British guy trolls. I painted them up like the old Lego um not pirates, what are they? The other guys that went with the pirates. You can see they're pretty fun. Yeah, I tried to paint them up like the old Lego minifigures. That's why they've got like the white and the blue. And then this guy was the real star of the show for that faction. This crazy shark monster. So fucking cool. Like he's about to punch someone with a fucking fish. How cool is that, right? I think that's super awesome. But yeah, really cool mini. And you can see things like this little crab here on the fin, right? Like that just feels like an old like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle detail that you'd see on one of the figures, you know? And I don't know, something about that just resonates with me, the like early or like late 90s, early 2000s-ness of it. Um, and of all the designs, really just, I don't know, kind of speaks to me there. So, but we're going to be cracking open this guy. And in this one, we get two factions. We get a bunch of undead skelebones, and we get some elves. So yeah, pretty awesome. So the elves get two kitty cats, which is really neat. And the undead skelebones get like two like totally different golems and then like one double-headed bone wolf thing. So yeah, very cool. All right, let's see. We got each side kind of packed off as a separate thing here. Last time I don't think I needed the instructions at all, but I mean, if you want them, there they are. I will say I love the designs of War Machine, but the game is a little too complicated for me. It's a little too rules crunchy. Um, but yeah, as they come out with more plastic releases, I very happy to pick them up. I cannot wait for them to do some plastic old Umbri. The old Umbri are legitimately probably some of the coolest models I've seen in years. I mean, look at that fucking Archon is just amazing. Look at that detail. That's so good. That's gonna be so much fun to paint. And continue it on all the things where there's feathers. With all the feathers, I'm kind of surprised they don't have like a big bird monster. Alright, so this is, it looks like one of the kitty cats and part of one of the guys. Yeah, so you're not gonna get options really, but you're going to get some pretty kick-ass models. And this box for both the models I think was like $70, so really, really cheap. Oh, weird. One of the Skellybone guys' sprues was in there. Wasn't expecting that. I kind of thought for sure they'd be separated out by bags to go with the factions for when they release them separately later. You know what I mean? Like his big broken rune sword. Usually they divide these guys up by runner, but it doesn't look like they did that with these ones. So they might actually be a little bit hard to build. Yeah, the Skellybones might be a little bit hard to build, it looks like. We might need the instructions for them. Okay, we got guys with throwy spears. That's cool. I really like this faction. They remind me of the Eternal Empire from what is the name of that? Oh, what is the name of that? Fucking what is the name of that? Last Epoch. They remind me of the Eternal Empire from Last Epoch. Very like possessed skeleton kind of deal. So I think that would be really fun. Alright, so we're gonna get we're gonna get a warlock on one side, two solo characters, and then Benki and Sasha, which are the kitty cats. And on this side we get the Charnel Hound, which is the wolf. The Execrators? That's a weird one. I think that's the throwy guys. A Revenant champion and then the Warlock. And that's the Imperishable. So I guess the skeleton side has like is a little more troop heavy. Well, it looks like I guess you get a set of each 3 troops, and then a character, a warlock. I guess on this side you get the extra doggy too. No, because that's this character. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's the same on each side. I thought the side was kind of more troop heavy, but I guess it's not. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's see. Let's build some of the skelebones. However, I am gonna need the directions for those, so apologies. We're gonna need to go get the directions. Let's see. Give me a sec. Let me go get those. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. What is the name of this? Frozen and Forgotten. Frozen and Forgotten. Assembly instructions. Two-player set. No. Cadre. Are these the... What are these? Okay. Where are my fucking instructions? Game. Life. Okay. Since I'm still messing around on the website and was not expecting that to take this long, I want to point out what not to do. Here's the product listing for it. By the way, it's way fucking cheaper on Amazon. Like literally half the price. Here's the product listing for it. Where the fuck are the instructions? Why are the instructions not on the product listing? Seriously. Okay, quick start guide, Hellsingers, Shadow and Scum. Yeah, these are not the instructions I need. Hi. Okay. We're gonna try scanning the thing. Things like this are something you just can't fail on. Okay, so I want to illustrate what this just did. Because this is what I was fucking looking for. Why can I not find this fucking link? Check this out. Learn to play. Look at this nice website with pictures and download links and all of this shit. Why, and like how to expand your forces. Why can this not showing up in my fucking search results? Why is this not on the homepage of your fucking website? Right? So if I go and I click on this box, why is this not linked there? Fucking amateur as shit. Sorry, I have very little patience today. I apologize. My entire existence hurts today. Um, so yeah, it means I'm very short-tempered today. So I apologize for that. But this is like basic web design, guys. Like, you should be doing better than this. Like, this should be linked on the product page. This is a really nice page. Like, you need to connect it up. It also needs to show up in the fucking search results. Um, so yeah. So you know how you do that? You make it connect to shit. That's how you do that. Anyway. Look, you can even, there's even a learn about the faction thing. Look at that. Right? I don't think, oh, these are the same faction. Interesting. They do not seem like it. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have the instructions on my phone, so I apologize for that. Um, but they look really nice. They look very clear, and yeah, that's great. Motherfucker, link this on your fucking website. Because this link does not lead to that. This QR code goes to a different URL. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that now. Like I said, I just have very little patience today because I am a very broken human being. And yeah, my existence is pain at the moment, so. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. All right. So we're gonna build some of our some of this cool Skellabone guys because they're the ones I'm excited to paint. Now, the one thing I will say I've said a really lot of really nice things about the War Machine, about how I love the designs and all that stuff. But something else that's really nice with them is Conquest. So Conquest Last Argument of Kings generally has slightly larger models, but they have really awesome models. Like I have absolutely loved building and painting stuff for Conquest. Um, However, they are a larger scale. Conquest is, so that means that in general, it's a little harder to find things to go with them. Like if you wanted to use the Conquest minis to say like play Frostgrave or something, yeah, all the War Machine stuff scales with it amazingly. The War Machine stuff is slightly larger. It's a little bit larger than Warhammer and slightly smaller than Conquest. So it scales fantastic with Conquest. And I'm going to be really honest, getting old, I like the big models a lot. I think that's really nice. But at the same time, since I've been building and enjoying building so much terrain, I've enjoyed the smaller models because you get more like, you can have more intricate terrain. So like tomorrow we're gonna play. We might actually play. I think I might try out what is the name of that game? That new game. That's not new. Um, 5 Leaves from the Borderlands tomorrow. I think I might use all my energy today to get 5 Leaves from the Borderlands to set up. Because man, I really feel like fucking trash today. But yeah, these are great plastic minis. So plastic glue works a charm. Boop, and they fit together really nice. Let's see, we need a footsies. Let's find the footsies. That's big boy parts. There's a footsies. Is that the one I need? No, don't go to sleep. No, I need this footsies. So these are actually numbered, but to be honest, I'm not having to look at the numbers. I can just look at the piece and tell, right, what is what. I say that and then immediately get to a piece that I can't do that with. Yeah, One of the reasons I haven't been enjoying the GW minis lately is because they're so like weirdly assembled nowadays that it kind of takes the like fun and the build up and the anticipation out of it for me. You know, whereas like when I built this that big demon guy, like I built him entirely without instructions, so he just kind of went right together. Same thing with that spider mommy we looked at. Like she just went really, she just I'm sure will just go straight together. All right, even these are like if I had to do it with instructions, I could, but like just a simple glance at the instructions work. Let's see. Yeah, thinking some kind of like glowy energy and flame on these guys. I've been super into like dark purple and light blue recently. It's just been really speaking to me, so maybe we'll do that. But I don't know. I've done that a lot. Maybe we'll do something like dark blue armor and neon green, maybe. Or like red armor and neon green. That one might be pretty good. We can get zoomed in a little bit better so you guys can see. Alright, so he goes on a 40. Alright, dumping the bases out like that was way more dramatic than I expected it to be. I just want to say. That was not done for dramatic effect. I am a dramatic bitch, but I am not that dramatic. That was way, way more exciting than I expected it to be. Alright, so looks like we got 32, 40s, and bigger. The bigger, I'm assuming, it's going to be for the big guy, and then the two kitty cats. So I'm assuming this guy goes on here. Their bases are nice. They have like a little slant to them, and a little bit of texture on the top. They're nicely designed bases. Alright, let's see. What do we got next? He gets some side skirts, and then his arm is 2 pieces, and he gets a shoulder pad on top of it. Okay. But yeah, I really really like the War Machine stuff. I really hope they do more plastic kits. I really, really, really want an old Umbri plastic kit because the old Umbri designs are just fucking phenomenal. Also, their pig forces, fucking phenomenal. I don't remember what they're called though, but they have like a whole like techno pig faction. Cool as hell. That's what they've been doing on the STLs primarily. Are the techno pigs? This month it's like lady techno pigs, so it's kind of cool. Um, Not the kind of thing you see a lot in ladies, so it's always nice to see like, you know, kind of big, kind of burly, kind of like ugly ladies. Right? You usually see things like these, the little prissy, pretty elves as ladies. So it's cool to see, you know, big ugly bitches. Not that I'm calling pigs ugly, but you know what I mean. Non-traditionally beautiful uh, ladies. It's nice to see. It's a cool skull pattern in there. Sorry, I was slightly out of camera. Apologies. Yeah, that's a cool skull pattern. I like that. Also, I just realized that all these pieces are just for this guy, so I just clipped them all out and I'm just going to put them together. So, yeah. A little bit of play in the arm, so I guess we could position it how we wanted, but so I guess we could have it more forward or more back. I think we'll have it kind of more forward, maybe like right there. Feels good. Might be neat to do these guys. Because my first temptation, because they're skeletons, would be to do them in like some kind of dark metal, but it might be fun to do them in like entirely in like copper, um, and like patina the fuck out of them. That might be kind of cool. Because the other option, I think that they would, people would probably lean to pretty quick is rusting the hell out of them. They don't really seem like the kind of things that would be rusty. They seem like pretty purposely built automatons more than raised skeletons, right? Like I don't think any of the guys died looking like this. They definitely they definitely seem like they were created to me. So, let's go ahead and let's put that kind of back for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, I should put the skirts on first. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, because they kind of have like a pseudo kind of Roman feel, but like Roman, like necromancer enchanted. They really feel like the Turtle Empire from last epoch. That's what they look a lot like to me. Now, I bet these designs came first, and last epoch got, that design from somewhere else, but yeah, that's my first exposure to this kind of like techno magic, like robot skeleton Romans. That was a lot of words. We'll have that aimed for another word. That's what you get when you don't let stuff dry on the base. You should let your models dry, kids, and not just fuck with them like I am. Gets this cool skeleton helmet. I like how tiny his little face is. Look at that. That's adorable. Yeah, that's a fucking awesome mini. Wow, I am shaking a lot today. Yeah, you can tell I'm not feeling good, man. I'm super shaky. All right, let's build a big one next. No, let's. Oh, each model has separate instructions. Fascinating. Alright, well the next one I pulled out was the like witch, so we'll do her next then. Let's see. It's my 3D printer hitting an error. Last week when I was showing off those, when I was showing off those, what are they? The FDM printed minis. I've been printing some more since then, trying out the FDM some more. Definitely interesting. I think there's definitely something there. Right now I'm trying to print out one of the ones from Duncan Shadows, one of his pig monsters. We'll see how that goes. But apparently it just hit an error, so. This is going to be her head, so we'll go ahead and we'll clip that out now. This is her, like, back, like, dream catcher spider legs thing. One of the reasons I got the models that I've been showing off today together is because I thought the spider mommy would go really good with the elves. I thought she would be really cool there, so, or go really well with them. Okay, let's see. And then she gets one more side piece, which I think is this one. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Man, I feel like I've been hit by a fucking bus. Holy shit. What side is this? Feels right. Yep. I think that's right. Uh, feels like something's missing from in there. But maybe that's just how the dress is designed? I don't know. This piece definitely goes like that. Yeah, it feels like something's definitely missing from the hip there. Is that just how she's designed? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I guess it's just supposed to be like, um, the like dress is like sweeping forward, I guess. Ah, I see. Okay, so this inner part of the dress is actually like a cloth thing. It's not like armor. Okay. I understand now. Okay, so it's kind of like the dress is like sweeping around. That makes more sense when you get more of the model together. It's very like kind of flowy thing. I thought this was armor, but it's not. It's all cloth. Yeah, that makes more sense then. Okay, cool. All right, now she needs some arm pieces, and then she goes on to a 40 as well. Oh, okay. She goes on to a 42. All right. Let's put her on that while we find her arm pieces. All right, let's see. So she needs like H5 and H6, which I think are this and this. I'm looking at the pictures, so yeah. One thing about the Archon models is that they're always sliced in a way that like the pieces go together logically one way, and that's really nice. Like the teeth on them is always like done a specific way. I think I missed a big nub there. No, that's her thumb. Okay. Very cool. This is her spider back part. There we go. Okay. And then let's see. Neck filled in. She can be wailing. Whoa! And she got a big whip. Hmm. Maybe do the whip before you put her on the base, maybe? The base is just kind of like, just slightly in the way of doing the whip. Like, it makes it hard to get your fingers in there. Job done. Hello. Very cool. I agree. War Machine minis are really, really fun. Is Super Glue working better than plastic cement on these? No, plastic cement works great. It works absolutely great. Their hips plastic. These ones are entirely plastic, so they're not resin or anything like that. So the plastic cement works great. The little bit of wiggling I had on this guy was just because I was not giving it like more than like 2 seconds to set because I was just excited to build him more than anything else, to be honest. But yeah, look at her. Ain't she freaking cool? Yeah, she's like cursing some poor asshole. All right, let's see. What are we gonna do next? I want to do the dog next. Oh, I found the instructions for the big guy. Let's do the big guy next, and then we'll do the dog. Ugh. I just started dabbling in War Machine. Minis look pretty cool. Yeah, I really like the War Machine minis. I only have the plastic ones. I don't have any of the like resin ones. Hello. Um, so like you can see this guy. He's from the last like starter box I did. Um, they're really really cool minis. I like them a lot. They have a lot of personality. They're very much like everything is like a character, a lot more so than like any like kind of like big huge war game, right? So like you'll get a box of like 10 guys and you don't really have any troops in there. Like game wise you have troops, but like every mini kind of really is like unique. It's like a character. Um and that makes them very fun to paint. So like you never, for example, have to paint like 20 guys' boots, right? Or I need to paint 30 red space marines. It's never a situation like that. It actually works. The minis work a lot more like Malifaux in that regard. How all the Malifaux minis are kind of characters as well. Um, and I'm a big fan of like the designs for the War Machine stuff. Um, because they remind me of like the early 2000s or like World of Warcraft kind of thing. I got mine on sale, but now I regret not getting the elf side. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I got both sides on Amazon in the like the joint box, and it was like $72, something like that. So I don't know why every other seller is so much cheaper on the War Machine minis than the official War Machine website, but they really are. Um, and it's not like they were even on sale either. This is just like the normal price for it there. So all right, let's see. Let's look at our big boy here. Bada, 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 bada. All right, let's see what we can do without instructions, and then we'll rely on the instructions if we have to. But yeah, uh the the elf side also seems cool. A lot of I don't know. They remind me in World of Warcraft. There's this place called Blackrock Hold. That's kind of what they remind me of, and they're sort of like these cursed, um, like ghost elves that I think like live forever but can never go outside of their castle or something like that. And so they're all kind of like shades. That's sort of what they remind me of. I think they're supposed to have like kind of like an icy feeling, but living in Hawaii, I never really paint anything like it's cold anymore, so there's too much cognitive dissonance there for me when it's like eternally summer here. Doing some basing myself. Nice. Breaking out some tufts and some uh what is that stuff called? Like flocking. I'll be doing a little bit of that here. Hour or two myself. My fantasy death cube is that I was working on last week, where I was making candles for it. Um, that's getting expanded basing done today. So I have it for tomorrow when I play game. And I'm either going to play 5 Leagues from the Borderlands for the first time, or I'm just going to play some Frostgrave on it, and we'll see how it goes. I got a couple new Frostgrave teams that I haven't gotten to play with yet, so kind of want to play with one of those. One of them's like a big dragon mommy, and her like little kobold like cop guys, and then one of them is oh, Mr. Platypus, who I'm very excited about. So either way, he'll probably be my character even if I play 5 Leagues. 5 Leagues. Turquoise Tufts confirmed. Nice. Dude, that's very bright tufts. Man, I don't have bright tufts like that. That's awesome. I have no idea how I got here. Anyways, I hope you are having a good time. Greetings from Germany. Good night. I don't know how you got here either, but thank you for coming, and I hope you have a good night as well. Oh, that's so cool. It's kind of like a big mouth filled with like bones and shit. Look at that. Evening, Germany. I would like to try both those games. Yeah, Frostgrave and 5 Leagues. I love Frostgrave. I played Frostgrave a shit ton on the channel. It really is one of my favorite games. It's right up there with BattleTech and Dead Man's Hand. 5 Leagues I've never tried because I don't know. I just found the rules really confusing. I don't know why, because they're not complicated. Just for whatever reason, they just were like really confusing to me every time I tried to read the rule book. But I really want to get into it. Everybody really likes it, and yeah, I there's a YouTuber named Preach. No, not Preach. Peach. Preach is a World of Warcraft YouTuber. Um, named Peach and Peachy, I guess, and he's been doing some 5 Leagues things, and I don't know, I kind of want to do it. It looks like fun. I think because of his videos. So I've been kind of building like all these kind of little background bad guy factions for skirmish games to use as like people that can pop up in like Frostgrave or whatever. So I think the way I've been building my collection over the last couple of years would really work really well for 5 Leagues. So yeah. So we're gonna maybe try to give it a shot tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna take a little bit more energy to set up, and I don't know if I have that energy. I'm not feeling super great, so. I really like the Pallid Bones bee paint color. Really versatile. Yeah, it definitely can be. And you can get some really cool depth out of it if you mix it with what is that one called? There's a War Paints one called Brownish Decay. You can get some really cool mix out of it. Now, I didn't blend these very well, but like that's what the kind of like two-tone on his horns is. That's pallid, or that's an equivalent of pallid bone. I don't think it's actually pallid bone, but it's pallid bone with 50 strong tone mix over it, and then brownish decay at the bottoms going into the black. I didn't, you know, I didn't do as good a job as like layering that in as I should have, but and it's really useful for little touches like in here in the rib cage, um, touching that with the brownish decay kind of gives it just a little bit extra shadow. It's neat, kind of neat, cool. I totally get the low energy issue. Yeah, I'm a very broken human being. Um, so some days are worse than others. And I'm feeling a little rough today, so. But, you know, this is really kind of the only way I get to like play games and all anymore. Just because I don't really have like a lot of energy to go out and play with new people and all that. It takes a lot out of me, and I don't end up enjoying like the actual event as much. I end up spending more time recovering from it than enjoying myself, if that makes sense. Um, and there's a lot of considerations with like being a minority and stuff too. It gets weird, especially when you start looking at like playing Warhammer and stuff. It can be kind of strange there, but so there's a lot of considerations there. So yeah, the only way I really get to play these days is kind of on the channel by myself. I guess this one does go in there. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So it's one of the reasons now you guys probably haven't seen, but I sort of made these like one by one gaming cubes that you kind of can just drop on the table, and they kind of really streamline that setup, the like gaming setup that you would normally have to do. So it makes getting to play a lot easier by making the energy to play a lot lower. Um, let's see these. This looks like it goes together like that. Oh, that's his crotch. I thought these were shoulder pads. Okay, I see now. Okay, so he's like a walking uh oh, what is it? He's like a walking brazier filled with bones. That's cool as hell. Super, super cool. Maybe he has to like burn the bones and the souls to like power the automaton or something. Yeah, that's really cool. That has a lot of personality. And it kind of looks like a big mouth. Oh man, that's super dope. Yeah. Thanks for the recommendation. Great model. Oh, yeah, but my big demon guy. Yeah, I have a smaller one from Archon because that guy's from Archon. I have this smaller demon. There's like a demon daddy kind of like Bara, kind of like chubby bear demon. I have him done too, but he's out back right now, being top coated. But yeah, they're kind of all part of my like. I've been putting together kind of like a demon force, kind of inspired by Diablo. So like, um, they all kind of, they all kind of share some like the red skin, and then they share like the same fire color, but it's from all different models. Lots of stuff from like War Games Atlantic, and there's a little bit of GW in there, and like it's really is just a big mix of models, and that's been really fun. Building an army like that, like building a force, has been really really fun. All right, now this guy I'm sure is going on the super big base. So let me double check. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be him on a big base, and then the two kitty cats will be on big bases too. Uh, definitely makes sense. Half the hobby is challenging myself to do things that can make me uncomfortable. Yeah, there's definitely some of that. I used to do lots of tournaments and go out and play and stuff. I haven't had the energy for it. Um, and it's a situation where like I would put in a lot of energy and time and stuff, um, and then kind of like wasn't getting a lot back. To be totally honest, I actually kind of have more fun streaming and kind of playing by myself on stream than I kind of do like going and playing against some random person. Partly because I don't know. I feel like I got old and I lost the desire to PvP. And it sounds really dumb, but I kind of feel that way. So like a lot of the PvP kind of games and stuff, I just am not interested in anymore. I kind of want to like just do co-op. And like nobody at the game store wants to do co-op. At least any game store I've ever been to. Maybe you're lucky and co-op games are very popular, but a lot of the war games, they want a PvP game, which is fine. I'm not saying like I used to do tournaments and I used to really enjoy PvP, but I just don't really like it anymore. I really kind of want to play cooperatively. Um, but because I don't want a PvP, um, it kind of limits what the interest that people have. I had set up a league for Fallout, but honestly, it took so much energy out of me, and the people kind of like in my league weren't like they weren't putting the same kind of energy in. And then one of them kind of disappeared, and I was just like, okay, I'm kind of done with that. So just been forever alone playing by myself, which I mean, like I said, I think works good for me. Oop. This dude's cool as shit. Holy shit, is that cool? He's literally like a walking like soul brazier. That's really awesome. Yeah, because like all the pieces in him are like all bone. So he's entirely like a birding soul golem. Yeah, that's super cool. That's gonna be really fun to paint too, because I'll get to paint all that like it's some kind of energy, but you'll still see the bones in it, and then it'll match the fire color. Yeah, that's super cool. That's very fun. Oh, and he's a lot bigger than the other guy too. On the box, these guys look the same kind of size. Man, he is a lot bigger. Look at that. Yeah, the flame pauldrons are really cool. Um, Considering co-op, do you enjoy the TT RPG experience as well? Um, yeah, TTRPGs are fun. I When I was back on the mainland, I had a group that I would play with. Um, yeah, see, look, they look like they're the same size in the box. But this guy is much, much bigger. Yeah, they didn't do him justice. They should have made him bigger, so you'd see how big he is. Yeah, I had a group on the mainland I played with. But then kind of once I moved out to Hawaii, um, people kind of went their separate ways, which is fine. That happens. Um, but I don't really have a group right now to TTRPG with. And it's one of those things where like I feel like that is defined by the group more so than the game. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I feel like you have to like the people, right? Like I'm not so motivated to play like Dungeons and Dragons or something that I'll kind of just play with anybody. I'd rather have people and then play with them. That makes sense. So, yeah. Don't really got folks to play with at the moment. Flame pauldrons are called. Yeah, flame pauldrons are great. Let's see. This is a doggy leg for sure. But the yeah, it's interesting. There's kind of like inherently negative views toward co-op in a lot of the wargaming sphere. Um, I think that's kind of a shame because I feel like with I don't know, like when I play a game, I don't really have any desire to like win. I guess my desire is to tell a fun, interesting story, like on the tabletop with the randomness of the dice rolls and you know kind of play my forces as all that kind of rolls out. Um, but I don't think that's a motivator for everybody. So I think it means that some people don't, you don't get the thrill of like winning um, uh, out of like a game that's just co-op, right? Like you're not going to beat anybody else. If you beat someone in co-op, it'll be called, you know. But yeah, it's just hard with I don't know being a broken person and all. All right, so let's see. What do we got? We got a head. Are these not the necks? I'm sure those were the necks. All right, let's look at the legs then, I guess. Let's see. Am I totally misunderstanding how this works? Okay, we need the instructions on that one. All right, let's see. This like that. And then front legs there, back legs there. This piece goes in the middle right here. Okay. Yeah, dog is super. It's going to be super cool. It's a little weird design language to get the hang of there, but oh, I see how that is. Okay, yeah, I thought this. I guess that's just a metal binding. I thought for sure that was where the arm pegged in, but no, it is lower down. Look at that. That's nice and obvious. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting. I thought that one guy would be smaller, and I kind of thought this dog monster would be bigger. Like comparatively, he's still going to be pretty big, but like the other faction has two big kitty cats in it. I kind of thought this guy would be sort of like around their size, but I guess not. He's a little smaller than I thought he would be. Overall, less far less competitive myself now than in my youth, but still enjoy a fair challenge with good sportsmanship. Yeah, I I agree with that, right? Like, if you can find a good person to play competitively with, but I really don't enjoy playing competitively with like random people nowadays. Um, that's like a big that's a big unfun turnoff for me. Because how competitive people get is It's sort of like a deciding factor of whether or not you kind of, if you mesh with that person, right? Um, like I'm not the kind of person to like look up a list online, right? But I know a lot of people like doing that, right? Like they'll look up kind of what's best and build kind of towards that and stuff. And um, I'd rather kind of take the models that I think are neat or do like a cool piece or something, right? Um, they have like a cool rule interaction or something like that, right? Even if it's not very good, that's kind of how I would always prefer to build my army. Um, so that kind of disconnect is it's real if you have trouble finding people that kind of match your interests, right? Um, you kind of have to find your tribe there, and that's something that I've kind of always struggled with. That's a cool dog monster. I agree, but sometimes you will find people that don't agree with that. So it's got a weird dog monster butthole there. And like, there's nothing wrong with being super competitive. It's just not who I am. You know what I mean? So that's cool as shit. All right. So what else does this faction have? I think it's got like three like trooper guys. Let's see if we can figure out how to put those together next. I also will be super honest. I don't have the energy for long games nowadays. It's like if a game's going to be 4 hours, I'm going to run out of energy around like an hour and a half to 2 hours and just not have fun anymore. Just not because like even if my opponent is being obnoxious or the rules are complicated or something anything like that. It'll just because I just literally won't have the energy for it. That's one of the reasons I tend to like skirmish games a lot more nowadays. Because I can in that same time period I can get like 2 games in, and tell more of a story and do more of a campaign than one kind of random unconnected skirmish game can. Kind of get more out of it, get like increase my bang with a buck there. And there's really no large scale co-op games, um, because it would require you to basically have at minimum 2 full-scale armies, and most people don't do that. So there's no like co-op 2000 point 40k, for example. Um, Even if in theory you could play co-op kill team, um, or you could just play Star Quest from one-page rules, and it is kind of all built in and works like a champ. But you're not going to play co-op Grimdark Future. You know what I mean? Although technically there's rules for it in Grimdark Future, so if you had an extra army, I guess you really could. Um, yeah, I think it would take a while to play 2 whole factions, though. I think that would be a lot of effort. All right, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's good. God bless the tournament dealers doing 3 games a day. Holy shit, dude. I have done that. Like all day kill team tournaments. Um, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it, but at the same time, like the cost was real. Um, right? And I would cap out before the day was over, and I would very clearly like not be having fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't think other people could see it, but I definitely could. Right? Like they have that, everything you do takes spoons kind of theory, right? So everything you do takes a spoon, and you only have so many spoons. And when you run out of spoons, you have to start using knives. Yeah, it was very much a I have run out of spoons and I'm now down to knives situation for those long tournaments. And the real pisser is I always did well enough to make it to the fucking end too, so I never got to like call it early. Like I always made it to the end tables. Um, like I was always on the podium, and it was just like, God fucking damn it, I want to stop. Um, uh, yeah, which I guess I should have complained about, but it was kind of one of those like burdened by my own success. There's no way that guy's supposed to go in that size base. He's got to go in a bigger base. Let me check. So, yeah, he goes on a 40. Yeah, these guys are going to be really awesome. Um, oh, that's fun how that works. He's got like his hand and the handle for the shield, and it pegs into the shield. It's kind of cool. And that'll go in the body. I'll give him a second to dry though, so I don't knock him off the base again though. This is the other arm, I think. Goes somewhere like this. The connection point's a little not super tight, so we're gonna have some play in that one. So I'll wait to put that one on when he gets done. And then there he is. I think this is his face. No, this is his face. Yes. There we go. But yeah, the people that do like just tournament after tournament, I don't know how they do it. You know, that's awesome for them, but man, that would kill me so bad. Like a 1 day tournament's enough for me. Like I did a back in ninth edition, I did a like all day play along, and I think that was like the last one of those kind of things that I could kind of muster the energy for. Does he? No. Yeah, I don't. After that, I think I was like, I think I really recognized that I had kind of, that was kind of the game where I sort of really recognized kind of what was happening to me and why I would have a lot of fun in the beginning and then kind of like peter out, you know? Um, Get a shield up there. It's kind of extra. This one's kind of extra piece. I don't know. I have to look at where it goes. So I'm not seeing a spot for it on the model. Unless it goes on this arm somewhere. But yeah, not seeing it. Keep adding more glue to the feet and then reactivating what's there. Because I am dumb. There we go. Alright, let's figure out where that extra piece goes. Very cool dog monster. Yeah, I like the dog monster a lot. It's very good. Shit. Where did the... Okay. I apparently closed the instructions. Uh, oh, apparently this little piece is not for this guy. Okay. Or the next guy. All right, so we'll just set that off to the side then. Okay, let's see. I like how everything has like face motifs. That's really cool. Just like I don't know. It just like adds to the weirdness. You know what I mean? Like everything is like these skull and face motifs. Like even the freaking spears have it on there. And like all the chain and stuff just like reeks of the 90s to me. You know what I mean? Like I love that shit. Eat that shit up. But yeah. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be playing something on the channel. Um we'll just see if I can get the 5 leagues set up because it requires a little bit more setup just because I don't know the game. But I think it like the game's kind of built for solo play and co-op play, so I think I really need to give it a fair shake. Especially now that I have like the basics for the rules understood, like how combat and stuff works. I watched a bunch of videos on it, so I think that'll make getting into it a little bit easier because their combat system's a little bit different from some other war games, and that it has kind of like this kind of like initiative kind of speed system to it. So, but the combat itself seems very simple once you kind of figure out the initiative system. Right, but I'm very much used to playing one page rolls where it's kind of like you roll and then you just pick your guy kind of thing. But I think the difference in initiative might be cool for solo play. So we'll try to put ourselves together enough to do it. I wonder if that piece of armor goes in the dog's butthole. That's a statement to say aloud. I was just thinking about the shape of the dog's butthole. That's also a statement to say aloud. Um, and like the peg on this, I wonder if this goes in there. That peg looks very similar to that dog's butthole. A little bit of nub left of the dog's butthole I gotta get out. That'd be sad. This stream is filled with many statements you don't often say. Or if you do, I very question who you are. Yeah, this totally goes in this dog's butthole. Let's get it in there. It really looks like it goes in there. Maybe it's hitting this nub. Ha! It does. Okay. The dog gets a butthole covering. Ooh, man. All right. I need a sip of drink after that one. I am all tired after putting it in that dog's butthole. Oh, this is how I amuse myself. But yeah, that was the only piece of that model that was on a different fucking thing. Actually, no, that was on the same runner. Yeah, okay. So I'm just really wrong because this guy and the dog were on the same runner. God, that's so cool. Look at that. Yeah, like neon green, like energy bones. Maybe like, ooh, maybe like a dark kind of black metal and purple cloth, maybe. Might be pretty good. Ah, so many options. I am thinking doing patina and having all the energy stuff be purple and the armor being like copper. But I don't know. The whole like skeleton thing just screams green energy to me. I don't know why. What do they do in the box? Okay, so they are like dark armor, green and purple cloth in the box. All right, so that's where I got that idea from. Sorry, you guys can't see. So that's where I got that idea from. I mean, it's a great color scheme. It really is. Do the purple as like blanched berry. But yeah, all these bones, I'm definitely going to do these. I'm going to do the bones like the energy as well. So it's like the bones are kind of like possessed with the energy. I think that'll be cool. All right. Yeah, you have to go on a big one too. Yeah. This guy's also got to go on a big one. Let's see. Yep. Also a big one. And then running back of the body as I throw all the pieces around. Oh, what else could we do? We could do like dark green armor. Um, and then maybe like a glowing, like pinky red for all the skulls, like pink into like a dark red, maybe would be kind of cool. Do the cloth then and maybe like a tan or a white might be a nice combo. Um, we could do the bones in kind of like a could do the bones and the energy kind of in the same like pseudo color set. Do them all as like a tan, and then like even do like maybe like some kind of like tan fire and stuff would be kind of neat, or like white, like a burning white hot, and then you could carry that into all the bones. Um, and then do some kind of really colorful armor, or maybe like a dark purple armor with the white fire would be kind of neat too. Um, or a blue set of armor with kind of like a dirty yellow fire and bones would be kind of neat. And then mix in um, I don't know, like a rustic red for the cloth might go well as well. So yeah, there's a lot of options. The idea of doing the white fire actually sounds really cool. Um, but also doing the copper sounds really fun too. Like, I mean, hell, I could still do the green with copper, still do green bones and copper, or I could do a dark purple. A lot of options, man. A lot of options. Oh, all right. Let's start clipping out the pieces for our last boy here. And then I will probably call it after that. And we will have gotten half the box built. And we didn't get to the elves, but we got through all the skelly bones. And I want to save a little bit of energy for streaming tomorrow. If I had thought of it, I would have done some kind of like America, fuck yeah, kind of painting thing, but American patriotism is not particularly high at the moment in most people, so yeah, it did not enter my mind. So I don't really. I guess I could have painted some battle mechs like America colors. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a lot of stuff that would kind of work for that. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, guess I could have painted some like generic military guys, but that seems more of like a Veterans or Memorial Day kind of thing to me than an America. Like I'd want to paint like a big eagle monster or something. You know what I mean? Like that has like machine guns for hands or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oop, go over there. Working through my pieces. So there's like a guy with the sword, with his sword going forward, a guy with the shield up, and a guy with one of the spears in his hands. So there's kind of there's a guy kind of each showing off one of the pieces of equipment. That's kind of cool. That's a good way to do that. Yeah, that's a nice way to do that. And it gives you a nice variety of poses too. Because I think in the actual games, I think the troops in this are like a character unit. So I think they are kind of unique. Boop, boop, boop. All right. We're just gonna finish clipping all this guy out, and then we'll go back and finish the other guy out real quick. Smells like my husband got food a little bit ago. Smells like japchae. Okay. Yep, that's all pieces. Bye. All right. Um, well, I guess let's build this other guy's body first, and then get him glued to the base, and then we can go from there. Oh, that's a cloak. It's a leg. Let's see, that's leg. This guy gets a rock to stand on. He gets a tactical rock because he's cool. It'd be funny to see a war game give advantage to people that are on tactical rocks. Like they would get height advantage. It'd be kind of funny. +1 to hit because you're on a tactical rock. Hmm. Well, the nubs on this guy are in really unfriendly locations. Like the inside of the collar and stuff like that. Be okay once we get the head in there, but man, it's a little weird to clip out. Alright, let's see. That goes like that. Then this is literally the first piece out of all of these models I've built today that I don't like how it fits together. And I think that really says something given the variety of the models that we've built. And really, it's not even the model, it's the fact that all the nubs are just on the inside, so if you miss even a little bit, it gets grumpy at you. Alright, I've got one leg in there like that. And then one leg here, like that. And then we want to hit the seam a little. Go. And put his tactical rock on so he can go on the base. And all the elves go on tiny bases. I guess only one of the elves is going to go in the 40. Maybe that'll be the warlock, maybe? So warlock, my understanding in War Machine is like your character. It's like your character model. I love my country, not the admin. So cheers to that, I guess. Yeah, it's fair. Hello. Dinner, Lord of Chaos. Yummy. Yeah, it's a very weird distinction when you have to like define the difference between what your country stands for and the people that are running it. You know what I mean? There's a weird like moral kind of ness to that, you know what I mean? And trying to figure that out is fascinating. I much prefer when everybody's just kind of vaguely good, right? Like not great, not amazing, like they're all kind of greedy and like evil still, but like everyone's kind of vaguely good and then I don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like I still like even when they're good, I still wouldn't trust a politician not to steal candy from a child, but um I much prefer a world where I don't, where I don't even have to think about it at all. You know what I mean? But that's not where we are at the moment, so I want to go back to my biggest concern being, what I'm having for dinner, right? Like how I'm going to afford to buy more toys, not, hey, we're going to war with some random country, you know? Because, everyone's personal life has enough issues in it, right? Ain't nobody need more issues, you know? If you need more issues, man, I want to know what you're doing, because I sure as fuck need to start doing that, because I got enough share of my issues. I ain't got time for nobody else's, you know? I say that I help literally fucking everyone and their brother, but you know what I mean. Like, I prefer not to have to worry about national level issues, because local and life issues are enough, you know? I mean, hell, I spent half the stream talking about how I don't have energy to fucking play war games anymore. So, like, you know, like to be able to focus on that kind of stuff. Be nice. Instead of like having to worry about keeping PBS running, you know? I like that this guy's clearly been shot in the back of the head. That's pretty cool. He just has a big fucking hole in his head. That's a cool. Look, it even goes all the way through. It's like all the way through his skull. That's freaking dope. That's a cool mini. The War Machine world is fun too, because you can have these like, um, kind of skeleton guys, and then you can have someone with a fucking RPG, right? And that's kind of neat. Okay. But yeah, these minis really are great for like the small scale skirmish games like Stargrave and stuff, or Frostgrave and Stargrave, I guess. Um, and they're great for going with Conquest minis because they are very, very well scaled for Conquest. Um, so Conquest, I mean Conquest less Argument of Kings, which tend to be a little bit higher, um, or a little bit larger style models. Um, they tend to be closer to that like 40 millimeter. All right, where's your sword go? Spear. Does it go across your back, and I just covered it up with the... Yes. I think. No. Alright, where's your sword go? Doesn't go in your hip. This looks like it pegs into something, but I don't know. I guess that pegs into this? Oh, look at that. That's neat. The sword goes across the spear container, and the spear container pegs into the back. Yeah, that's cool. Oh. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. This part is just totally flat. That's not like them. No, it actually connects into the detail in the arm. That's really smart. And then this is a shoulder pad for this side, I think. Yeah, it goes right there. I hear that. Spend all my time painting minis. Need to get to painting my war machine. I think I base coated a few. I only got like 2 boxes. Nice. I mean, 2 boxes is still pretty awesome. Hopefully you got some cool factions. I really enjoyed painting these guys. The shark guys. I have the robot scaly guys that came with them, but I haven't ever figured out a color scheme I like for them. So I have almost an entire faction painted, but they're all sitting there, and I don't really like any of them. So I really should prime them all again and start over because they're really awesome they're really awesome models too. But yeah, so there we go. All right, well let's check out our guys. So there's our spear guy. Getting ready to chuck a spear with a face on it. Here's advancing skeleton guy with a hole in his face. Goes all the way through. You know, I would be half tempted to actually drill that out because that would be kind of cool. Yeah, I would be half tempted to drill that out because it'd be kind of neat to be able to look through his head like that. And then you've got the shields up guy here. These two poses are a little similar at first glance, but they're actually considerably different. Because this guy's more advancing with his shield and this guy's kind of striding forward. And then we have the evil whip lady there. And her doggo. Cool two-headed monster doggo with his butthole plate. You could probably paint these up in Egyptian colors too. Might be kind of neat. Doing them in like a golden style armor with blue cloth. Maybe like a green fire and stuff. Instead of blue, I mean like kind of like a teal, like a Egyptian kind of teal color. Might be kind of neat too. Or Egyptian teal blue cloth and like a brick red color. Egyptian blue teal flame and blue and a brick red cloth would also be kind of cool. Yeah, these guys might also look kind of cool, and there's like kind of pseudo Egyptian colors. And last but not least, we got the big Chungus himself, the Walking Inferno guy. I think this guy's actually probably my favorite model of this set, which shocks me because usually I would almost always pick the dog. I mean, the dog is, I think, my number 2. But I really like this big Infernus guy. His design just looks so unwieldy. I kind of really like it. This guy's really good, though, too. I mean, really, they're all good. The lady's really good, right? Like, that works really well together right there, you know? Even, like, the generic skelebones go really well with them. If I had to make up a complaint, I wish the dog was bigger. Yeah, I wish the dog was a little bit bigger. He would feel a little bit more like a monster then for this set. Now you get 3 runners for the elves. I think we did 4 here? Yeah, we did 4. So you get more runners for these guys. But you get 3 runners for the elves. Yeah. But I am definitely not going to build them today because I'm big out of energy. I think I might go down for a little bit. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good one watching me open up this stuff. And where's Spider Booba Lady? Where did she go? Did I put her back in her box? No. Oh, there she is. Yeah, we also unboxed Spider Booba Lady. Um, she's another Archon kit, which is kind of cool. So I got her to go with the other guys because I thought she would go really well as I nick that guy's claw and knock paint off it. Good job, Josh. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good one, and I'll be back tomorrow to play some game on the Fantasy Death Cube that I've been working on. And yeah, should be a good time. But thank you guys. Have a good one, and as always, keep on keeping on.